to Lower Body Strength. Another day, another workout. Today's workout, we have 5 different rounds of 5 movements, working 60 seconds back to back. After each round, we'll take about 30 seconds of active recovery before we continue. We have 5 movements today, focusing again on lower body strength. All you need today is a small space and a set of dumbbells. We have high reps today. Let's start off with a quick warm-up. We're gonna start off this warm-up with an alternating hip opener. So shuffling to one side of your mat, planting your foot, opening at the hip, moving to the same thing on the other side. This is a great movement to start to get warm, focusing on lower body. For today's workout, we have 5 different movements, working 60 seconds back to back for 5 rounds, and that's it today. So after each round, we'll take about 30 seconds for quick rest before we continue. So high rep count, a little bit of rest in today's workout, so adjust your weights accordingly. All you need is a small space and a single set of dumbbells, and I guide you along through the entire thing. We are here for 5, and then we're gonna break down our squat, moving into a squat with a pulse. So starting with your feet, hip width apart, toes are forward, dropping your hips back at the bottom. We're gonna pulse for a rep, and then stand all the way up. You can take these first few nice and slow, but again, drop your hips back, drive your knees out, pulse for a second, and then squeeze your glutes at the top. Core is pulled in tight, chest stays up, here for about 25 seconds. If you're new here, you can refer to the timer on the screen for when to work and when to rest. You can refer to a quick visual for the preview in the corner for the next movement. Otherwise, I talk you through this entire workout. I work along right here with you. Give me a couple more reps. We're here in this squat for 5. Moving into a good morning, starting with your feet about hip width apart. This time, hands gonna be placed behind your head with a slight bend in your knee. You're gonna hinge at the hips, feeling this in your hamstrings, and then stand all the way up, squeeze your glutes at the top, engage your core. So only hinge down as far as you're able to, maintain your form here, and then engage your glutes at the top. Again, engaging the hamstrings here for about 20 seconds. This workout today is the advanced version of lower body strength. It is meant to challenge you. However, it is your workout. So at any point, if you need to break up the reps, take extra rest, you absolutely can. You can also drop your weights or work at a slower pace. I'll offer some modifications as you go along. You can refer to the beginner class as well for a lower impact class overall. Good. Next movement here, we're just gonna move into an alternating knee drive. So hands can stay placed behind your head. You're gonna drive your knee up, meeting towards the center of your core, working through the same thing on the opposite side, warming up the quads here, engaging our core as well, here for 25 seconds. We'll continue to build in fatigue in this workout like most workouts that we do. So again, we'll take that first round or 2 to get our form down, get the movements down, and then we'll continue to work through for 5 rounds total. Give me a few more. We're here for 10. Then we're gonna end our last movement in this warm-up on the floor, working through a bear crawl hold. Good. Go ahead and make your way into a high plank position. This bear crawled hold focuses on engaging our quads. So in a normal high plank, shoulders are over your wrists, core is pulled in tight. We're gonna walk our feet in, keeping our knees bent, shoulders still stay over your wrists, pulling our core in tight, but really engaging the quads. You should feel this in your quads as you hold. Core stability is key in this movement. Again, your knees are just hovered a couple inches off of the floor. Starting to get a little bit warm. We're gonna hold it here for 15. Good, holding it here for 5. And drop down and rest. Awesome job. You can go ahead and stand up. If you need to stretch it out a little bit more, you can press pause and go ahead and do so. Otherwise, I'm gonna show you what movement number 1 looks like. For this first round, I'll continue to show you what those 5 movements look like as we transition. So we'll take it nice and slow, and then we'll start to pick up the pace. So we are gonna get right into it, wasting no time. So I'll show you what movement number 1 is. Movement number 1 out of the 5, we have a goblet squat. So you just need a single dumbbell. Option is to use both, just dependent on your preference and the weight that you're using. You're gonna wrap your hands over the top of your weight. We just broke down our squat mechanics. Feet are hip width apart, toes are forward. Dumbbell can be placed at your chest. You're gonna drive your knees out, drop your hips back, stand all the way up, maintaining this position. This is what movement number 1 looks like. For the first 30 seconds, we're working through a normal rep count just like this. The second 30 seconds, I'll let you know when to transition. We're just gonna pulse at the bottom. So staying at the bottom of our squat, pulsing a couple inches for the second 30 seconds. So that is what movement number 1 looks like. Option is to drop your weights. The heavier weights that you use, the harder this movement will be. As we transition into that second movement, again, we'll go 60 seconds back to back. I'll show you what it looks like. So transition today as best as you can. Take round 1 to get our movements down. I'm gonna go ahead and start the timer. We are on top of round 1 in 10. Starting with this goblet squat, feet are hip width apart, toes are forward, hands are wrapped around the top of your weight at your chest. We are on round 1, movement number 1. First 30 seconds here in this first minute, we're going into a normal rep count. So again, drop your hips back, drive your knees out, stand all the way up, squeeze your glutes at the top. As you know, form is always a priority. So it doesn't matter how fast or how slow you are working, we're focused on slow and controlled while maintaining form. If you can continue to maintain your form and move a little faster, that's perfect. But main component here is maintaining your mechanics. Good. Go ahead and pulse at the bottom. Second 30 seconds here in this movement, staying at the bottom of your squat, pulsing for a couple inches. Chest stays up, core is engaged. Modification in this pulse is to place your hands at your chest, pulsing with your body weight. We're here for 10. Transitioning straight into our second movement. We're gonna be on the floor in 3. Good. Second movement here, 60 seconds, back to back. So it looks like this. We're gonna start in a high plank. Fingertips are forward, shoulders are over your wrists. It's a complex movement. It looks like this. First 2 reps, we're gonna go into a plank leg raise. So pressing off your opposite foot, engaging your glutes. Third rep, we're gonna go into a sprawl. So jumping your feet in, dropping your hips back, chest is up, landing in your squat setup, planting your hands back, and jump. So looking at this a little bit faster. Leg raise on both sides, sprawl, landing in your squat, controlled here, plant your hands, jump back and repeat. Modification is to walk your feet up. Feet are hip width apart, chest is up, knees drive out, plant, and walk back, whatever you need. Again, take this first round here to get your form down. Focus on what modification feels best for you. We are here for 5. Good. Finish where you're at. Go ahead and grab your dumbbells. Third movement here. We're going into an RDL with a squat. So looking at this from the side, we broke down our good morning in that warm up. Now we're gonna start with our palms facing towards our body with our weights. We're gonna hinge at the hips, adding our weights this time, standing all the way up. Second rep, weights stay at our side. We're gonna drop our hips back, drive our knees out, squeeze our glutes to stand. So first rep here, focusing on the hamstrings in that RDL. Second rep here, dropping your hips back, going into a squat. So arms should be extended with your weights the entire time, really focusing on your lower body here to move with those dumbbells. We are here for 15. These rounds go by so quick, so stay with me here. Less than 10. Good. Rest where you're at. Moving straight into movement number 4. Starting in a split stance. Left foot is forward, right foot is back. We're going into a knee drive. So planting your hands on the top of your weights, driving your knee in, and then extending back out. So looking at this nice and slow, driving that knee in, extending back out, driving that knee in, extending back out. You can pick up the pace if you need to. You want to place your weight here right in your quads. So your hands are just slightly pressed on the top of your dumbbells. You're not hovering on them. So right on the top here, go ahead and switch sides. Spending 30 seconds on both sides. So these last 20, right foot is forward, left foot is back. This movement targets the quads. We're here for 15. Good, we're here for 5. Go ahead and rest. Final movement of this first round. We are going into a bear crawl hold. So last 60 seconds here, we are just gonna hold this bear crawl position right here. Again, we broke this down in our warm up. Our shoulders stay over our wrists, knees are hovered a couple inches off of the floor. So again, remember, this is our normal high plank position. We're gonna walk our feet in, knees are bent, hovering your knees a couple inches off the ground. Core is pulled in tight, holding it here for 30. This is what each round looks like today. We have 25 more seconds of this first round, then we're taking a quick 30 seconds of rest. So stay with me here again. We're feeling this in our quads. Modification is to drop down to your knees, breaking this up however you need to. Maybe you're holding it here for 10 to 15 seconds and then dropping down. That is okay. Again, this is your workout. We're holding it here for 3. And rest. Awesome job. You can stand, go ahead, step to the side, focus on your breathing here, let your heart rate come down. That is the structure of today's workout. 5 movements today, 60 seconds back to back with this quick 30 seconds of rest to let our heart rate come down a little bit and slightly recover. So not full recovery here. We are headed to the top in about 5. Starting with that goblet squat, grabbing a single dumbbell. We are on top of round 2 here for a minute. So as a reminder, in this goblet squat, hands are wrapped around the top of your weight. You're dropping your hips back, you're driving your knees out, and then you're standing all the way up. The first 30 seconds here, we have a normal rep count. Just like we did in the first round, the second 30 seconds, we are pulsing it at the bottom. So in this second round, I want you to focus now on working through those full 60 seconds, transitioning as best as you can. Now that we have our form down, go ahead and pulse at the bottom here for less than 30. We'll take it one round at a time today, but as you can see, it goes by quick. So important to be intentional through every single movement. Fight through the burn here. Feeling it a little bit more than that first round. Modification is to drop your weight. Doing this with your body weight if you need to. Here for 3. Good, and rest. Move that dumbbell out of the way. Starting in a high plank position, we have that alternating plank leg raise with a sprawl. Modification is to walk your feet instead of the jump. So raising at the heel, engaging your glute on both sides. Jumping your feet into your squat setup, chest is up, holding for a second, planting your hands and repeat. Modification, leg raise on both sides, walking your feet in, sitting up in that squat, planting your feet, and walking back. We are here for about 30 seconds. This movement also really engages your core. So again, make sure you are using your core strength as you go into that sprawl. We are here for 20. We're gonna pick up our weights after this, going into that RDL with a squat. So stay with me, we're here for 10. Grab your dumbbells in 3. Good, go ahead and grab your weights. Stop where you're at. When you're ready, going straight back into that RDL with a squat. So first rep, targeting the hamstrings, hinging at the hips, engaging your glutes. Second rep, dropping your hips back, driving your knees out, and alternate. So in that deadlift again, same thing. Like I mentioned in our good warm up, just make sure that you're hinging as far as you can. If you start to feel this in your low back, you're hinging too far. So just go as far as you're able to. Squeeze your glutes at the top and then move into that squat. We're over halfway here for 25. Next movement after this, we're in that alternating knee drive. So we'll start with our left foot forward in a split stance. 30 seconds on that side, and then we'll alternate. Second 30 seconds on the opposite side. We are there. Good, go ahead and plant your weights. Again, slightly laying your hands on top, not putting a bunch of weight on the top of your weights. Left foot is forward, right foot is back, driving your knee in, extending back, being intentional here. 30 seconds on each side. Good, switching in 3. Go ahead and switch that right foot forward, left foot is back, and repeat. Again, you should feel this in the quad that is forward, putting most of your weight here, making sure your knee stays in line with your toe as best as you can. You don't want to hunch over here. Again, focusing on your quad as you drive that knee in. We're here for 12. We're headed into the last movement of round 2 in 3. Good, drop your weights. 1 more minute here in round 2. We're ending with that bear crawl hold. Starting in a high plank, walking your feet in, hovering your knees a couple inches, and hold. Holding it here for 45 seconds. As you hold, I want you to set an intention. Focus on your breathing here. Do the best you can to stay with me again. These rounds go by quick. This is already 2 rounds down. We have 5 rounds total of this workout. So put your mind in a different place. I know that you can do it. That is over halfway. We're holding it here for 25. We have 30 seconds of rest coming up. Again, we're working the quads here, holding it for 15. All the way through the timer, holding it here for 5. Drop down to your knees and rest. Amazing job. Stand up here, shake it out. Focus on your breathing. Again, we're not able to fully recover here, but definitely able to shake it out for a second before we go back to the top. So that is 2 rounds down. We have 5 total. We are headed to the top of round 3 in that goblet squat. In less than 10, you can grab that single dumbbell. Same thing here. You know what to expect. Top of round 3, movement number 1, back to a goblet squat. Good, we're gonna pulse here in 3. Go ahead, drop your hips back, drive your knees out, and pulse. Again, continuing to build in fatigue. We should feel it even more in this 3rd round. So if you feel like you're starting to hunch over, or you're having a hard time maintaining your form, you can do this with your body weight. Hands come right at your chest, pulsing a couple inches right here. Here for about 10. Good, moving into that plank leg raise. With a sprawl for the 3rd time in 3. Drop your weight, come into a high plank when you are ready. So lifting at the heel. This movement is slow and controlled. Feeling this in your glute as you press off 1 foot. 3rd rep is that sprawl again. Moving controlled here, 45 seconds. Good, here for 20, stay with me. You're doing so good. After we complete this round, we'll be over halfway. Here for 10. Resting in 5. Rest where you're at. Amazing job. Go ahead and stand up, grab both weights. Do that RDL with a squat, 3rd time through. Good, here for 30. Stay with me here, focus on your breathing. Here for 20. Two more movements after this, left in this round. We are already halfway through this workout, so stay with me, dig deeper. I know you can do it. I want you to push yourself here, impress yourself through every movement. Go ahead and rest where you're at. Awesome job. Plant your dumbbells. Left foot is forward, right foot is back in that split stance. Going into a knee drive, 30 seconds on both sides. Good, work it slow again as you need to here, but being intentional as you drive that knee in. Your front quad is where we're feeling it in this movement. Go ahead and switch sides. Right foot is forward, left foot is back. Good, 10 down here for 20. Headed through that bear crawl hold in less than 10. Good, drop your weights. Transition as best as you can to a high plank, walking into that bear crawl position. Closing out round 3. We're gonna take it 15 seconds at a time. That's already technically 15 seconds down. We're here for 45. Good, put your mind in a different place. We are closing out every single round like this, finishing strong. That's another 15 down. If you need to break it up, you absolutely can if you're losing your form, but if you can hold, I want you to dig deeper. We have 15 to go. All the way through the timer, 30 seconds of rest coming up in 5. Drop down and rest. Amazing job. Stand up here, you know the drill. Shake it out. Walk around a little bit in these next 30 seconds. Focus on your breathing. The good news is we are over halfway. That's 3 rounds down. We have 2 more rounds left of this workout. Second to last round here, starting from the top in that goblet squat in 5. Again, you're doing so good. If you're still with me at this point, you are absolutely crushing it. We are so close to the end of this workout, about 10 minutes left. Starting from the top of round 4 in this goblet squat. Just like every single one of these workouts, we are making the most of the time that we have. We are being intentional with this combination of movements, focusing on lower body strength, adding a little bit of cardio in there. So again, stay with me. Take it 1 rep at a time. We are pulsing in 2. Go ahead, pulse it at the bottom here. Couple inches for about 25 seconds. Make sure your chest stays up here. Hips are dropped back, pulsing a couple inches, continuing to drive your knees out for 10. Headed into that plank leg raise with a sprawl in 3. Good, stand all the way up. Move your dumbbell to the side. Headed into a high plank. Alternating leg raise here with a sprawl. Good, that's already halfway right there. 30 down, less than 30 to go. We're gonna stand up, taking a break from this plank position. After this, going into that RDL with a squat in 10. Legs should be on fire. If your legs are on fire, you are in the right place. I am right here with you. Good, go ahead and finish where you're at. Grab your dumbbells to stand. Take advantage of this movement out of a plank. Going into that RDL, targeting the hamstrings, just going as far as you can. And then again, driving your knees out, dropping your hips back in this squat. Well over halfway here for 20. Good, here for 10. Moving into that knee drive in 5. Plant your weight in your split stance, starting with that left foot forward. Second to last time in this movement. 30 seconds on each, that's 10 down on this side. Good, switching sides in about 8. Switching in 3. Place that right foot forward, left foot is back. Here for 25, closing out this movement. Awesome job. Stay with me. Fight through the burn. I know you can do it. We made it this far. We have about 6 minutes left to work. Here in this movement for 5. Go ahead and plant your dumbbells. Move them out of the way. Ending in that bear crawl hold. Closing out round 4 right here. Same thing. We'll take it 15 at a time. Good. About 15 down. Stay calm and focused as you feel the fatigue. You can do so much more than your mind tries to tell you that you can, especially when you start to feel that panic a little bit from feeling the burn. I want you to calm your mind down. Know that you can do it. I promise you that you can. That's another 20 seconds down. We are headed into our final 20. 30 seconds to rest. Coming up, I know you can do it. We're here for 12. Fighting through the timer here for 5. Drop down and rest. Stand up. Last 30 seconds of rest. Amazing job. You are truly doing so good. Shake it out here. We have 1 more round left of today's workout. 5 more minutes left. 1 minute in each movement. Every time we complete a movement, it goes away. That's it. No surprises. You know what to expect. We are back on in 10 seconds. We're gonna finish strong. If you have anything left at this point, I wanna see it right here. How we finish is the most important. So finish strong here. Back into that goblet squat. First 30 seconds here in a normal rep count. Second 30 seconds, we're gonna pulse the last time in this movement. Good. 30 seconds down. Final 30 in this movement, pulsing it right here. If you kept your dumbbell for the first 4 rounds, I want to see if you can maintain form. See if you can continue to keep it for these final 15. If you're losing your form, no shame at all. Drop your weight. Form is a priority, but if you can push yourself here, I want you to do so. We're here for 10. This movement goes away in 5. Good, stand up, shake it out for a second. Drop your weight back into a high plank. Last 60 seconds in this alternating leg raise with a sprawl. Good, stay focused. That's about halfway, 30 to go. 3 minutes total left of work today. Stay with me here for about 12. Grabbing your weights in 3. Good, go ahead and rest there. Slowly stand up, grab your weights. Deadlift with a squat. Last 60 seconds here. Good, focus on your breathing. Take deep breaths in if you can here for 25. Two more movements after this, heading into that knee drive in about 10. Heading into a knee drive in 3. Good. Go ahead and plant your dumbbells. Left foot is forward, right foot is back. Last time in this knee drive. Again, let's stay focused. 10 seconds down on this side. Another 10 down, final 10 on this side. Then we're gonna switch. Good, go ahead and switch. Right foot is forward, left foot is back. Final 25 seconds in this knee drive. Then we have one final minute left in that bear crawl hold. And that is it for today. So again, stay with me here. We are so close to the end. 15 seconds in this knee drive on the right. Moving to the floor in 5. Drop your weights, come into a high plank as soon as you can. We have 60 seconds left of this workout today. We are ending in this bear crawl hold. So this is all mental toughness at this point. This is also where we impress ourselves. Again, I know you can do this. We have 40 seconds left in this hold. We're holding it together. We are finishing this workout with confidence and with purpose. This space is for you to get better, 1% better every single day. That does not mean that you have to be perfect. All that matters is that you continue to try. We have 20 seconds left, holding it right here. Stay strong with me, I'm right here with you. Good, holding it for 12. Continue to breathe all the way through the timer for 3. Drop down and rest where you're at. Take a second here. We made it. If you are like me, my quads are on fire. So if you need to, take a second here, shake it out. Slowly walk around, let your heart rate come down. That is it for today. I promise you, you did so good. But let's walk it out for a couple seconds and shake it out before we head into our cool down. If you need to pause as you continue to walk and let your heart rate come down, you can. But when you're ready, you can slowly make your way back to the floor. We're gonna end by stretching it out. For this cool down, we're gonna start in a single leg butterfly position, stretching out the glutes and the inner thighs today. So you can bring one leg in, bending at the knee, other leg is extended. You can reach your hand towards the extended leg and then slightly press on your knee right here. So you should feel this right on the side of your glute and then on your opposite hamstring as well. Holding it here for about 15 and then we'll move to the same thing on the opposite side. So amazing job. That was lower body strength today. The structure of today's workout, we had 5 different rounds of 5 movements today, focusing on lower body movements. Go ahead and switch sides, holding it here for about 30. So again, high rep count today, 60 seconds back to back. We just had 30 seconds in between each round after working for a full 5 minutes. So way to stick through. We really were intentional, making the most out of the time that we had. Way to take time again to show up for you, getting 1% better. We're gonna hold it here for another 5. Good, now we're gonna extend both legs, bending at the waist, reaching both hands towards your feet now, feeling this in both hamstrings at the same time, holding it here for 20 seconds. If you're new here, you can refer to my website for a couple of things. First, you can refer to it for some dietitian-inspired recipe ideas, so quick and easy recipe inspo. You can also look at my sample workout schedule that breaks down when to do each day, adding some cardio days as well. Good, go ahead and now bend on the right side, stretching out the quads, slightly leaning back just as far as it feels comfortable. So you should feel this right in the right quad. We're gonna spend 15 seconds here, and then we'll close this movement out on the opposite side. You can also look at my website for the link to my podcast, and then just be waiting for some nutrition courses as well. So you can find all of that on carlywilliamsfitness.com. Good. Go ahead and move to the same thing on the left side, ending this cool down by stretching out the left quad, holding it here for the final 20. Good, we're gonna hold it here for another 10. Resting in 5. And rest. That concludes this lower body strength class, working through those 5 rounds of 5 movements. Awesome job. Way to show up for yourself. Thank you so much for working out with me with confidence and with purpose, and I'll see you in the next one.